Hey guys, what is up? My name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to the 48-hour read-a-thon Candyland edition. If you hear some noise, obviously we're outside. I'm sorry, people drive like maniacs, but welcome in. It is already almost noon, well, almost 11:30 on Saturday. I haven't read a thing yet. I have been struggling with sleep because something happened like 2 days ago, which I'll get into, but not into this intro, where I had to like call the police and stuff, and I haven't really been sleeping well since, so that was scary. But we are here, we are ready to read. I went this morning and got some snacks and some groceries that I'll do a little haul of afterwards, so like I don't need to get out of the house. I'm already in my bathing suit, ready to tan. We're gonna get the hammock out and it's gonna be a grand old time. Sprints start at 1 p.m. today for like public sprints. Patreon sprints are tomorrow. And the whole vibe of this is, I have hair in my mouth, is chill. So I'm aiming to read between 2 and 3 books. I'm not pushing myself to read for the entire 48 hours because last time I tried to do that with 24 hours, I basically went insane and like I'm too old for this. So that's not what we're doing. But what is on the docket for today? First things first is I want to read Tress of the Emerald Sea because it perfectly fits with the prompt of water or ocean theme, and it's also what I would pick for myself. So it kind of completes both prompts, which were free pick and ocean/water themed. So this is like my main priority for today. If you don't know, well, I don't think I've told anyone on my channel this yet, I finished The Way of Kings, the first book, earlier this week, I think on Monday or Tuesday, and was obsessed with the last like third of that book, and I am planning on to going into book 2 in August, but I'm still very much itching for more Brandon Sanderson magic, and this really, I think, is gonna hit all of the spots. This was part of a secret project, and it's kind of like a pirate story. It follows Tress, and I think it's a retelling of The Princess Bride, yes, and I have the audiobook for this. I sampled it and I was like, this is like someone telling me a fairy tale, like watching a movie with my ears instead of my eyes, and I think this is going to be a hit. So that is all I know about it, but I think it's going to be fast-paced. This is like 350 pages. Also, I saw these for the first time today, and when I tell you my jaw dropped, like I want to get this tattooed. It is beautiful. It's a cup with a butterfly in it, and also there's this beautiful photo of Tress, which, like, can I be her? She is stunning. So that is like the main thing we're doing today. Got the headphones, they match my bathing suit, and that's like plan number 1. If I do end up reading this, then today I also want to keep going with Peregrine Quinn and the Cosmic Realm. This would technically be like a free pick. I don't think this has to do with the ocean or water at all, but also the audiobook for this is on BookBeat because I wasn't finding it anywhere else, and I looked on BookBeat and I found it, and this is like a middle grade with Olympus vibes and like a Cosmic Realm, and the audio for this is also fantastic. I read like 30 pages of this book and can already tell I'm going to be obsessed, so I would like to continue this reading today, and then tomorrow we are going to go with my Patreon pick because they get to pick a book for me during this readathon, and that will most likely be Remarkably Bright Creatures. I think this is what is winning the poll currently, but things can change, though I doubt it will. So yeah, I'm gonna sit a little bit and read for like half an hour, and then we'll go inside. I'll show you the snacks I got, have a quick lunch, and then set everything up for life sprints. I'm so excited to be here. Let me know in the comments if you participated, what you read, and let's get going, folks. Read the first 5-star prediction, no favorite book prediction. I don't even know what to do with myself. Let me collect my thoughts. We can go inside, talk about my first impressions, and show you all the snacks. Also, I got the best little reading buddy here. She's sitting on my lap in a rocking chair. It's beautiful outside and it's just a whole vibe, but I do need to like eat. But also like I don't want to. I'm so invested. I am so invested already. What is life? What is Brandon Sanderson? I swear. Okay, let's go in. Let's talk because there's so much noise out of here. You guys, we're in the kitchen. Hello. I would be in the library right now, but if I go sit there, my dog's gonna cry because she can't be with me in the library and she's very needy. But I do need to show you that later because we and I mean me, rearranged my entire library, and I've never been so in love with a library than I have with mine currently. It's beautiful. I did take some B-roll already, but we're going to go a little bit more into it in this vlog. But, you guys, 5-star predictions from page 1. The instant this got on my head and I pressed play, I just felt something come over me and I'm like, this is going to be an all-time favorite. Like, bury me with this book. I hope it stays like this, but like the overwhelming feeling of an instant connection with a book and being like, this is the world I want to get lost in, hasn't happened to me in literal years. And I say this all the time, I'm not really a fantasy girly, I'm a middle grade fantasy girly, and sometimes because of one specific friend, I do pick up fantasy books and, for example, The Way of Kings, end up really enjoying it. But I rarely just pick up fantasy on my own, and I am not talking to anyone about this book. I'm not reading anything, like reading this with anyone. I'm just doing it for myself, and honestly, I am mind blown by my instant connection with this, which is insane. But like, I'm what, like 30 pages in, 25 pages in, and already I'm like, yes, give me more, give me all of it. So what I've learned so far is that we follow a main character named Tress, but Tress is not the one who narrates her story. We get the narration from another character, which we meet in the overarching, like, Brandon Sanderson world. I am blanking on the name of it right now. Don't come for me in the comments. But I've heard of this character when reading The Way of Kings. And when he named himself in the book, I was like, this makes so much sense. Like, the sassiness of the narrator breaking the fourth wall and talking directly to you was outstanding. Like, it just, I laughed already so many times. I wanted to cry. I am so invested in this character and the journey she's about to go on. And if you know me, if you've been on my channel before, if not, hello, please subscribe. I am looking for like my ultimate favorite pirate book. I love books to do with pirates. I am a Pirates of the Caribbean pirate aesthetic girly. I love it to a core, but I haven't found in recent years a pirate book or a book surrounding the concept of pirates like that really hit, and I think this is going to be it, because Tress is going to go on an adventure, and I'm not sure how she's going to pull this off, because in this world, like, Tress literally is not allowed to leave where she is from, and where she is from is nasty and gross, and like, nothing good happens, and like, nobody leaves, and hardly anyone comes, and she was in love with this boy, and I feel like Brandon Sanderson can do romance in 20 pages. Like, I'm already like, but they need to be end goal. Like, what is happening? Why are they not together already? So yeah, my thoughts make no sense as of now, but just know that like, we're going on an adventure. I love Tress. I love the narrator. Probably one of the best audiobooks I'm going to listen to in my whole entire life. And we're gonna have a great time with this one. I cannot wait to sit my butt down and listen and read to this for the next like 8 hours, because I think I'm on like 1.6 times speed, which is like the perfect speed for me right now, and it's gonna take about 8 hours instead of 12, I think. So now my tummy is making a little bit of noise. So let me show you the snacks and everything else I bought for the 48-hour read-a-thon. Also, it's already like 12:15. Sprints are coming. First thing, I went to this like bakery pastry shop near my house. They make sandwiches, desserts, soups. It's a beautiful thing. And I have been wanting like really good chocolates for a while. And I got these, and the reason I'm covering this up is because it literally says the town where I'm from straight on it. So we're not gonna do that, but it's like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate, like beautiful chocolates. And that was a little bit of a splurge, but I sold so many books that I just used the funds for that. Then I also got this bread, which again, I'm not going to show you the other side because it has my town name and like the address of the bakery right beside it. We're not going to do that. But this is like spicy pepper, olives, and cheddar bread. I went in specifically for this because it was like the best snack in the world, and they had one left, and I was like, you and me, bestie, you and me. At the regular grocery store, I got a loaf of bread like this, which is like super fresh and still like mushy, just came out of the oven when I bought it. To go with some bruschetta, I never remember which is the proper way to say it. That was, again, from that bakery place. It's homemade, love that. And I also got a broccoli and bacon with almonds salad, just a little salad, because I don't think I said this, I'm alone all weekend. Like literally it's me and my pets. We're living our best life. I don't like to cook. I don't cook well. I don't like making food, and I especially don't like eating by myself. I can do a lot of things by myself. I love eating by myself, but food is always a little bit more tricky. So I found an alternative way to eat, and this is gonna last me like several days. Like it's gonna last me all weekend. Just saying. I got some grapes because they are big and hard, and those are my favorites. And I do have like some chocolate dipping sauce. Listen, it's gonna be that time, ladies, you know. So I'm craving a lot of chocolate, and you're gonna see it's not the end of the chocolate. And I got carrots. I already have like cucumber, tomatoes from my garden, and a lot of other stuff that I can eat. I'm gonna make myself a veggie platter for the weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna show you guys or not. And then I think there's one last set of things I want to show you. I got some soda. I am a Coca-Cola zero sugar girly, like through and through. It is my favorite drink, and I mentioned this in my goals video. It's a little bit too much of a favorite. I need to like chill, and these were on sale, the little cans, so I got some Fanta as well because I really am in the mood for Fanta, but I never drink a whole can of it because it's just too much. And then the most fun part, and like I'm showing you guys this because for me, food is like the accompaniment to a read-a-thon. Like it's books and food. That's what a 48-hour read-a-thon is. I am a very big snack while you read kind of girl. So, and mind you, I have a lot of healthy options. Also, I just wasn't out of the healthy options, so that's not what I necessarily went out to buy. Last stop is Bulk Barn. I had stopped going to Bulk Barn for literal years, and I went the other day and I had made like a candy jar. I still have some, but I went again because I realized how good these giant keys, like giant, like they're as big as my fingers, and I have big fingers, fun fact, because I'm tall. I'm a bigger girly. So I went and bought more of these because I just bought 2 the first time I went, so I went back for a bag. Like, can you leave a candy store without more stuff? The answer is no, not here. This I'm gonna try for the first time. They are chocolate covered gummy bears, and that sounds divine. I have some almond covered in chocolate. And again, this is not gonna last me just for the read-a-thon. It's gonna last me like a whole week. Like, I've had this jar for over a week and it wasn't even full and I still have some. But I just, you know, these are like mini Aero chocolates. Love that for me. Some O. Henry's and yogurt covered peanuts. And the last thing in this entire haul I forgot to show is a piece of cake. That is probably going to be had very quickly. The rest is going to be had over a few days. But listen, it's a 48-hour read-a-thon. I plan on going to bed late and having good snacks. And like, judge me all you want. I don't care. I'm really happy. This is a lot of chocolate though. I feel like I kind of went into one store and then forgot I bought chocolate, and then went into another store and forgot I bought chocolate and ended up doing it 3 times. So I might keep these in like a jar and like not have them this weekend, or keep these for another time. I don't really know, but like, that was the food haul. I'm probably gonna go and eat some of these yummy slices of bread with my broccoli salad, and then we'll have like bruschetta and cheese and vegetables for dinner. Girl dinner. Hello. I feel like I have rosy cheeks from reading outside. I've been on sprints for a little over 2 hours. We're doing our last sprint. It's now 3:18. And I thought I'd update you guys because I have read, and I have also made plans to go eat at my parents' place. So I'm gonna try to get some B-roll because they have the most beautiful backyard. Obviously I'm gonna bring the dog, but that will take out a little bit of my reading time. Also, I feel like I've talked too much on these live sprints. Now my throat hurts. I need a Halls. I need a Halls. Be right back. The goods have been acquired. Also, I made a jar with my candy. Obviously, I had more candy than this. The rest is in a Ziploc bag to make another jar. But I haven't even had a snack. I had my bread and my broccoli salad, which was divine. And I've been reading ever since. I am on chapter 19. Almost made it to page 100. I'm going to read one last chapter to literally bring myself to page 100 before the end of sprints. But so far, this is like all the stars in the world. 5-star feeling for sure. I really love where this book is going and what it's doing, and the story and the narration style. I think the narration style is different from anything I've ever encountered before, and I absolutely love it. So, without any spoilers, where I have gotten so far is that Tress has fallen in love with this boy, and their love is so pure, but he is taken away and never comes back. And I'm not going to go into the reasons why, everything. I think you should read the book for that. But Tress takes it upon herself to go and save him. And so she plots to get out of this town because, remember, I believe I said this, you cannot leave this town like ever. And she goes on this ship and goes out to save her man. And you know, she's never been anywhere but her, like in the safety of her home. And so things go awry very quickly, and she discovers that the people who she was on the ship with are kind of sketchy. And then something happens where she meets a rat who is like one of the best characters, and they end up kind of switching ships into another ship. And right now she's kind of like having to make her place and make herself useful, because if she's not useful, she's just going to be yeeted overboard. And she has kind of like been putting things together as to like what has been happening on the ship, and like people aren't necessarily who they say they are, and like there's some ominous things going on that we're trying to figure out with Tress as we are also on this journey to go and save her man because love. And it's a really, really good. I love how diverse the characters are. We have a character who is deaf, and it's just the way it's described and the way we talk about ableism in this book is very like subtly done, but it's also kind of like right there being like, not everybody has the same capacities, but everybody tries their best. And it's just the way the character is described and how the character kind of is still very important and still does a lot of good for the ship, even though he is deaf. Like, it doesn't define him, and all of that is really interesting. But my favorite passage so far has made me commit a sin of dog-earing a page, but I don't even care at this point. There's this passage that says, "It might seem that the person who can feel for others is doomed in life. Isn't one person's pain enough? Why must a person like Tress feel for two or more? Yet I found that the people who are the happiest are the ones who learn best how to feel. It takes practice, you know, effort. And those people who, late in life, have been feeling for 2, 3, or 1,000 different people, well, turns out they've had a leg up on everyone else all along." Straight to the heart. If you are new here, I'm a social worker, and I feel like this perfectly describes empathy and why I do what I do, and I strongly believe in what this quote says and everything it's trying to bring to the story, and how empathy is not a weakness, but like one of the strongest skill sets you can have. And I do think that caring for people and being there for other people is definitely something that you can learn, and I think the way this story brings about Tress's empathy is so interesting, in how like everything that we can kind of see as negative sometimes, as someone who respects the rule and someone who is an overthinker sometimes, this is all kind of like Tress. I feel myself a lot in Tress. I do really love her as a character because I identify with her personality, but everything that I sometimes consider to be wrong with myself, especially being a little bit too empathetic, has kind of been flipped on its head in this book and shown as something that is very empowering. And I think that it makes it even sweeter knowing that like Brandon wrote this for his wife, and I don't know if Tress is similar to his wife in any way, but I think like it's a very big ode to all the women who, or everyone in general, who has empathy, who maybe is a little bit more ordinary. And this book is trying to like portray that the fact that you are ordinary is extraordinary, and that everybody in their own way is so different and unique, but that we all also kind of live through the same kind of hardships in life. For example, love. I feel like everybody lives through love a little bit differently, but the outcome and the emotions that are felt, we all kind of feel them the same way at the end of the day. And like, we all go through different hardships, but we all kind of grow from them. And it's just the way this book talks about all of these things makes my heart so happy, but it's also a great pirate story. And I think that like balancing these two things is a very difficult feat, and I have rarely found books that can do such things. And I just think that Brandon Sanderson is going to be the king of pirates. I don't know if he has any other pirate books, or if we see more of that in the whole Cosmere is the word I was looking for before, or if that's not a thing. And this is like fantasy with a sci-fi element, because like it's not the sea like the sea we know, and it refers to like, this might be how it is in your world, but it's not like this in our world. And I'm like, my noggin might not be smart enough to understand what you're saying. So some things might be going a little bit over my head, but the big things I need to understand, I am definitely grasping. And coming off of reading The Way of Kings makes me feel invincible. And I'm definitely feeling like I can understand this book. And like, this is fantasy, and I'm flying through it. I'm loving my time, and the audiobook is the best audiobook I've heard in my entire life, and I don't think anybody can do better than the narrator is right now. I don't know who that man is, if he's narrated any other audiobooks. I I'm going to listen to all of them simply for this man. So that's where I'm at. I feel like I could get that quote tattooed. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this in this vlog, but like this cup, I think I did, with the butterfly. If you don't know, my first ever tattoo, and I feel like you might not even be able to see it because I have so much hair, is a butterfly. Butterflies are the representation of grief for me, for loss of someone very special in my life. And low-key, I collect cups, just like Tress, and I kind of want this tattooed. But that's a story for another day. So I'm gonna go finish up the next chapter, finish up the sprints, and then I'll get my dog and I ready to go to my parents' house. So I'll catch you guys later this evening.
Everyone was standing idly by, trying not to watch or intervene, as tears were streaming down her face, down her face. Try to let it go. Try to let it fall, to let it pass, to let it go. She held in her hand a ribbon of silk, so lightly that it would be caught in a breeze. She whispered words not meant to be heard. She started to shiver.
Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. I'm wearing the same bathing suit top. Please don't sue me. It's just the most comfortable thing ever. Today is going to be another beautiful day. We are in the middle of a heat wave, so I woke up early, vacation early standards, around 8 a.m. and immediately went to walk my dog because she obviously needs her walks, but we're not going to do it in like 35-degree heat. And so that is done for the day. And I also cleaned up the kitchen because my partner is going to get home a little bit earlier than I thought, so I got like the cleaning out of the way so he can come home to like a clean house, and then I get all of the rest of the day to chill. So yesterday when I left you guys off, it was about like 3:30 or 4, and I was going to eat at my parents' house, and so I did that. It was a lot of fun. They ordered pizza, we had a blast. Then I came back home and did another like 2 hours of live sprints, so I got a little bit more reading done, but at the end of the day, like my focus was off and I didn't want to ruin this incredible experience. And so I got to chapter 24 or page 130. So I'm not even halfway through. I'm like 35% of the way. And you know what? At first I was kind of feeling guilty over the fact that like this is a 48-hour readathon, and usually people in 48-hour readathons read like 10 books, and I've done that in the past with like 24-hour readathons where I would read like a solid like 5 books in 24 hours, and that's kind of what I think I'm going to aim to do with my next Candyland Read-a-thon at the end of August. That will be on my Patreon. But when you find a book like this, a book that you know you can only read for the first time once, and that is going to go and be like an all-time favorite, I think it would be doing myself an injustice to try to speed through books for the sake of like content and not actually take the time to soak it in. And so I've came to the resolution of like not the resolution, I just came to the conclusion that this is probably the only book that is going to get read for this 48 hours. And you know what? I'd rather just read one outstanding book than 5 mediocre books for the clickbait of like, I read 5 books in 24 or 48 hours or whatever the case would have been. I'm still loving this so incredibly much. This is the perfect blend between a pirate book, a love story, and just a story of self-discovery and learning how to be an independent person aside from your family, and realizing that you can hold your own and you can learn stuff and you can become someone else, and that like your core values will stay with you, but that doesn't mean that you can't experience growth. And I just think that Tress is like becoming my favorite character of all time. I can see myself, and it's odd because I feel like I can see myself in most women that Brandon Sanderson write, and usually I'm the kind of person who says like men cannot write women characters, but Brandon Sanderson has been proving me wrong since the first time I opened a book of his and read like the first page, and I am absolutely obsessed with this. So I will be reading more of this today. The aim would be to like finish this by the end of this vlog so I don't keep you guys on a cliffhanger, and then I decided that Remarkably Bright Creatures, which was my Patreon pick, I will read in an exclusive vlog for them so that they still have the content that like they voted on, even though this can go as intended, because I really wanted to read this yesterday and then have like my Patreon book pick with my Patreons, which is why I didn't start it yesterday, but like the math is just not mathing at this point. So before we keep going, because I do listen to the audio, but I found that I can't just like listen to the audio because there's so many things I want to tab and just go through and really soak in. So it's really much of more of a tandem read and not of like something I could just listen to and do chores. So we're gonna go check up on the garden this morning and see how it's doing. It looked pretty good yesterday, but I just want to make sure because I don't want to ruin my garden. And then I think we're gonna go start another load of laundry, and then we'll sit down here and read for a little bit. And also, I tried a new hairdo and I actually think I like it. It was a goal of mine to like do more stuff with my hair, and I really think that this one will be tried again. So let's go see the garden, you guys, and then we can immerse ourselves back into the world of the Emerald Sea. I also forgot to mention, I have been really in the pirate vibe, and I decided to look up Tress of the Emerald Sea art on Pinterest, and I was not disappointed. Let me see if I can find something that's like not spoilery to show you guys. Like, look at this. Look at my little Tress. Isn't she like the most beautiful thing ever? And like this collage, wait a minute, if I put up, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see. If not, I'll try to pop the photo up here. Feels very like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque. You guys, when was the last time I raved about a book this much? And I'm only 35% of the way through. Obsessed. Hello friends, we're in my garden. I'm sitting on a little ball that my dog plays with, picking up tomatoes. I sit down on the ground to pick these up, but there's so many fallen apples and that brings a lot of bugs. I need to pick all of them up today, which is going to be a lot of work, but I told my partner I'd be the one doing it. So, this one's not good. I wanted to sit you guys down here for a second in a calm environment because I've had something on my mind recently about social media, and I go into phases where I think social media is like not a thing for me, and it brings me a lot more anxiety than it does bring me joy. And I'm not talking about YouTube. YouTube has always, or at least almost always, brought me joy. I'm talking about like Instagram specifically, and TikTok, and even Facebook, and like phones in general being able, like creating this ableism of people always being able to reach you at any given time, and that really brings me a lot of anxiety. And there's a butterfly. I'm gonna cry. Recently, Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte mentioned something like, isn't it a strange thing that like we're paying every month for phone plans and like internet and stuff, and sometimes it's the thing that gives us most anxiety, so we're like paying to make ourselves anxious, and just like the way everything becomes so accessible and so like given because of phones and Instagram and TikTok, and it's like, where does it end? And I feel like I get very anxious and overwhelmed because of my phone, because I always have a tendency, I don't know how many times a day I can pick up my phone, when in reality I'm not doing anything on my phone, and it's been driving me insane that I am this way. And I know it's bringing back anxiety, because I used to have very severe anxiety. Like, I went to the hospital because I thought I was dying of a heart attack. I was stuck in the middle of a highway. It's a whole thing. But I had gotten a lot better, and recently I just think that social media has been making me feel all sorts of ways about myself and where I should be at in life, and like how I'm doing things, and comparing like my body and my mind and stuff to other people, and it's not doing anything positive for me. The only reason I keep Instagram is I have a few people on there that I talk to on a regular basis, and it's like my preferred form of communication with these specific people, so it's hard for me to just like yank it off. And TikTok is just like a wormhole, like a dark hole of like, it consumes all of my thoughts and all of my energy, and for what? Like, I don't even create TikTok things, so I'm like, why am I even on there? All that to say that this past weekend, or at least more than the weekend, I think since Thursday, I've put my phone on this like new focus. You know, on iPhone you can choose different focuses, and I created a new one for every time I'm at home. That's like time away from phone. And basically, if you are not my partner, my mom, dad, sister, or that specific type of people on Instagram, like I have a few people on Instagram, you won't be able to reach me. And it's given me so much peace, and that means like no Facebook Messenger messages, no other like Instagram DMs, no email messages, nothing. Like, nothing can disturb my peace. And then, like, for example, 15 minutes a day I'll go in and check, but like for the past 3 days the only thing I've checked is my email and nothing else. Like Instagram, I post on Instagram like my stories, but then I don't even go back and look like if anybody has saw them or whatever. It's just like I like putting little things of like my dog on Instagram. That actually brings me joy. But for the rest, I haven't even touched Instagram or TikTok, and I hope I can keep going that way. I think that focus filter is really going to help me. So if you've tried to reach me, I did answer like a few DMs on my book Instagram, but I'm talking about like my personal Instagram. I'm so far out of reach right now, and I've like selected the people who obviously when I want to talk to the most or I need to keep in contact with. I'm never going to ignore my parents, but for the rest, like if you're not like that specific, I think there's like 2 people on Instagram who I talk to very regularly. If you're not them, good luck, Chuck. I'm probably not going to answer you. So all that to say, I feel like it's been helping my mental health improve a lot. And I'm really grateful for Olivia Read the Latte here on YouTube, because I feel like the way she talks about mental health and like the mental goblins and like what creates anxiety and how we can get ourselves out of these mental patterns has really been helpful. So like, Olivia is a queen. I'm assuming most of you are subscribed to her, but all that to say, it's been very refreshing to like go outside and touch some grass and just not be so overwhelmed with everything that's happening on social media, and just like be able to pick my cherry tomatoes in peace. Like yesterday I went to my parents' house, I didn't even touch my phone, aside to answer like a few questions my parents had, but other than that, like the phone stayed in the car. And it's just like, if you're really trying to reach me, you'll have my phone number. You can call me and let me know like the world's ending. Other than that, I'm having a grand old time. So I'm gonna go back to picking my cherry tomatoes and living my best life.
I wake up from the sunshine on my face, so dehydrated, don't know what to say. Who's sleeping by my side? What did I do last night? Can someone make this headache go away? Yesterday was supposed to be quiet, being to myself and sit in silence. Until I got a call, my friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark, with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh.
It made like an entire bowl, you guys. We have so many to eat, and there's a different, like, there's different kinds in here. Super excited. I'm gonna need to wash them. First clip in my office with the bookshelves rearranged, my new butterfly blanket, because everything needs to be a butterfly. Look at them. Just look. Iconic. Very much iconic. So we're here to update, and I also remembered I have a package, so we can unbox that together. Also, my dog just realized I'm in the office. Might get a little noisy. I can't like take this all in. I honestly am obsessed with my hair today. The office is giving vibes. The blanket is giving vibes. This is a great weekend. All vibes aside, I wanted to update you guys because I made it to chapter 39 or page 216 while on sprints with patrons today. It was my first time sprinting with them only, and I was a little nervous that like no one would show, but I did end up having a really good conversation with one of my patrons who was there for like the entirety of the sprints. I sprinted for about 2 hours, a little bit over. We did like 3 45-minute sprints with like a little bit of chatting in between, and so that's how I got to page 216. And I fear I'm just repeating myself over and over when I talk about this book, so I'm not going to, and I'll just say that this is a masterpiece, and there is a little bit more of an like intrigue going on right now. The plot is thickening. We are learning a little bit more about other characters like on the pirate ship, and like why they are the way they are, and how that is dangerous for Tress. She's also making friends, and I have my doubts about our friend the rat, because in the past few chapters he's been saying stuff, and I'm like, hold on just 1 second here, my little fellow. I think you're more than what you are letting on. I don't know if the rat knows that he's more than he's letting on. If you've read the book, you know, but I have a feeling something is going to come into play with him, and if I'm right, it'll be the first time I've ever predicted such a significant plot twist. But yeah, we are getting into the thick of it. Like, things are becoming dangerous. We are crossing into a different sea. We were in the Emerald Sea. We are going into the Crimson Sea, which is a lot more dangerous. And you know when I say, like, I want a pirate book? This is a pirate book. And there's just so many quotable moments in here. And the writing is just this. When I refer to good writing, let it be known that this is what I mean. And I'm sorry this vlog has just turned into like a gushing about Brandon Sanderson and Tress, but this is it. Like, this, good thing I have my own Brandon Sanderson shelf now, which is, you can't see it, but it's down over here. I have this one, The Frugal Wizard's Guide, which I now want to read really badly, and Words of Radiance Part 1 and 2. I need to add to that shelf eventually, but for now, we'll make do with Tress like it's a consolation prize. No, she is number 1. So yeah, the vibes are vibing. I have 3 hours left of the audio and I am going to start sprints in exactly 19 minutes to close out Candyland, and I think I'm going to sprint for like 2 hours is the plan, and so I don't know if I'm going to finish the last hour today, depending like how much of a like in the thick of it we are, or if it's going to be a tomorrow morning kind of let's finish this book. But obviously I'm going to wrap this book up with this vlog. Like, I'm not just going to like leave you on a cliffhanger. So those are the updates. This is the weirdest parcel I've gotten from Amazon for like one book. Let's open it together. That just stole my joy. Oh my god. What's wrong with this? Like, great. Now I'm just putting disgusting stuff on my clean floors. This is the most stupid box. I got a copy of The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. I know I said in my recent unhauls that I'm not super into thrillers and mysteries anymore, but this is like a camp mystery, and I've been wanting this book for when did this release? I feel like 1 or 2 years ago. It released in 2022, and I was intrigued since 2022 because I do tend to like YA mysteries still, like mystery thrillers, kind of like Good Girl's Guide to Murder vibes, and I've been looking at it, but there was no way in hell that I was going to pay $24 for this book. And 2 days ago I was perusing Amazon and it was on sale for $6. There was another book by this author that was also on sale. I think it's like They'll Never Catch Us, the one with the sneaker on it. But I've never read by this author, and I was like, even if they're $6, like, it's taking up book, like, a space on my shelf if I don't love them. So I decided to just go with this one because it's the one I was anticipating. But Canadian girlies, they're still on sale if ever. I say that like you're gonna see this video tomorrow morning, and you're not. But yeah, and it's like told in then and now. It's like these counselors, and I don't remember exactly, but the vibes seem to be up my alley. I love anything that has to do with a camp, whether that be like a cute romance or a middle grade or everybody dying at camp. I will read it. So this is going to go with my very small shelf of mysteries and thrillers. I have like 15 minutes to get ready for sprints, which I think I'm going to do in my office here because the lighting immaculate, and just like I have everything set up so it's easier. But if my dog is a whiny puppy, then I might have to move, but I guess we'll see.